going to plant a few bits and bobs in this greenhouse today. I'm going to put a mixture of things in, and then we're going to give it some protection as well, just in case them temperatures drop right down. But first thing I need to do is dig it over. We've also got some volunteer plants as well that have just decided to grow on their own, and these are carrots. So obviously a couple of seeds got dropped at some point and they've germinated all by themselves. So I think we'll leave those in and just take out the bits and bobs of weeds that we've got in here and then get something in. We've also got some volunteer tomato plants growing from seeds that were obviously came out of last year's fruit. But we're going to be pulling them up. So we've given that a quick dig over now, and we're going to get a bit of rake, put some nutrients in it before we actually plant anything here. So I'm just going to add a bit of fish blood and bone to this compost, just to try and give these young plants a bit of a boost. So I think to start off with, we'll get some of these spring onions out. They've been in this pack quite a while, and the cold hardy plants as well, so we might as well get them in ground. So I'm just going to put a couple of rows, I think, just in here, just to get this greenhouse started off. And they're already in like nice little plugs, so dead easy to plant them on. You just need to drop them in, firm around them a little bit, and they'll take care of themselves. And we can plant them quite close together as well. We'll drop another one in just next to it. Firm it down a little. Job's a good one. And I think we'll do 2 rows of 5. That's going to keep us going for a good while. And then we'll just space them a couple of inches apart, so don't need too much room, these plants. And when you're planting things like this, that's probably one of the best tools you'll ever buy. And I think I've left a link in the description if you fancy ordering yourself one. They just make life so much easier. And we're in with another one. All done. I think next we'll pop in a couple of these hot lemon drop chili peppers. We'll give it a little bit of space, don't need to give it too much. And we'll dig a bit of a hole. Then we'll just drop this plant straight in and firm it down as well. And for these I think we'll have 3. Drop that in, then we'll firm it down a little. So last one going in are these. Again, another easy job sorted out. So next up we've got some of this cut and come again leaf lettuce that we've been growing, and we've got a couple of bits a red lettuce in there as well, what I've spied. So we'll get some out of these packs and we'll get some in here as well. And of course lettuce doesn't need a lot of space. And these are going to be getting harvested way before any of the other plants, so that's the beauty of it. We'll take this plug, drop it in, and then we're going to firm it down and try and keep it all nicely stood up like that. That's how you want it. You don't want your leaves on the floor. And I think we'll add about 4. So that's why I always bunch them together and then push them down and immediately fill in around the bottom, just to make sure it all stays just how I want it. That's another one going in, down and firm. So that's another row done. Next we're going to do some of this multi-sown beetroot. Because with this beetroot we can either grow it and just harvest the leaves for salads, or we can just let it grow into baby beets. So we'll give these a bit of room as well. We'll just drop these plugs in, and exactly the same as we did with that lettuce, we're just going to push it in and we're going to firm around it to keep it upright. And we'll do the same as this. We'll have 4 of these in here. So that's all those in. Now, because we're still quite close to the door, I'm going to pop in a couple of these dwarf sunflowers, because they're going to attract bees. That's going to help pollinate the plants. We'll give these a little bit of room as well. We'll get those in there and bed them down. And we'll put 3 in. Next, I'm going to pop in one of these tomato plants. It's a good size, so we might as well go it round and get it going properly. But we need to give this a little more space. So we're going to do it just off centre. About there, I think it's going to be better. It's got room this side, and it's got room the other side as well. So we'll get that out and drop it straight in here, and we'll just press it down a bit as well. Make sure it's nice and straight. Now at the back of here, behind these carrots, I'm going to put some of the spare French beans. I grew these in the greenhouse last year and they grew perfectly fine, and they lasted quite a while. So again, we'll just make a bit of a hole and we'll drop that straight in. We don't even have to put them really far apart either, because we might end up just trading them up some canes as well. And you can see these ones have already got the new growth coming on them as well, so they're off to a good start. And because this last bit just here already had these volunteer carrots growing that seem to be growing quite happily, I think what we'll do is we'll just add a few more carrot seeds and see what we get. So we'll just randomly broadcast some seeds like that, not taking no care as such. You know, we can thin them out later on, or we can let them grow and then we can harvest baby carrots. So we'll still have a choice regardless. And I think that's going to be enough. And then all I'm going to do is just rough it up a little bit so they're just kind of getting a bit of a covering. We don't want to bury carrot seeds too deep. And that should do them. So that didn't take too long really. We've sowed some carrot seeds randomly in that bit. We've got French beans across back. We've got a nice tomato plant growing there. A few dwarf sunflowers that's going to attract pollinators. Beetroot for baby beets or salad leaves, followed by the cut and come again leaf lettuce. Hot lemon drop, chili peppers and 2 rows of spring onion. And it didn't take too long to do. So we've got a good start now. So I've also got some of these aluminium frames, and they bend as well, so you can have them as wide or as narrow as you like. And we can make a cover over these plants and then drop over a bit of fleece, just in case it gets really cold one night. But then during the day we can either leave it on because the sunlight will penetrate enough through that fleece, or we can just roll it back out of the way if we need to. So it's just a simple case of popping some of these in the ground and then dropping that cover on for protection. So we'll just take one and pop it around about there. That should be fine. And then just push it into the soil and it's nice and stable. And then we'll go again, just there. Trying to keep them all the same width, but as long as things are covered, then that's all that really matters. And sink that one in as well. There. And if you haven't got any of these and you don't want to buy any, you could make your own with just cutting some pieces of cane and then just tying them together with string to get the same effect. Then all we need to do is pop over as fleece and we're done. And then I'm just going to weight the end down with a brick just so we can pull it tight so it's got plenty of distance away from the plants. So that's all done. It's been planted up and we've given it an extra bit of protection, and it's only really thin, cheap fleece that as well. But you'd be surprised at just what a difference it'll make to your plants in the event it does drop cold. So they're all in now and on the way. The ground's been dug, we've given it a bit of fertiliser, we've put in quite a few different varieties, some that's going to grow tall and some that are going to be small. But because it's on the back side of the greenhouse, that's where the sun shines directly straight onto that back wall of the greenhouse. So all the plants are going to get enough sun. And then we've added that little frame and a bit of fleece over the top, so that now we know if it does drop really cold, over the next few days or so, they've got that protection that they're going to need. Anyway, thanks for watching that. Really appreciate all your views, all your subscriptions and all your comments. And if you want to see more as we're going through the season, just hit that subscribe button and press that notifications bell, and we'll see you next time. You take care.